go, here we go, here we go, here we go. It is Markets in the Morning. Let's go. Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is the blockchain backer bringing you the latest cryptocurrency news and analysis. Welcome to Markets in the Morning. Today is Thursday. You ready for it? February 1st, 2024. This is Markets in the Morning, where we take a look at the price action of the cryptocurrency market, including the Bitcoin price chart and the altcoin market, as we get ready for the stock market to open up in 1 minute from right now. Markets in the Morning is where we get a feel for what the market is like as we kick off our day. Of course, we take a peek over there at precious metals. We'll take a peek over there at the DXY and check out any type of financial news or crypto news that is going on this morning as we all get started on our day. Taking a look over here at Bitcoin, it's at 42,357, coming off of yesterday's Federal Reserve pause. So we still continue to maintain the 5.25 to 5.5 federal funds rate. Market sold off in the middle of it all. You guys got to watch that live yesterday, as we always stream those Federal Reserve meetings. The sell-off really, sorry, a little sniffle there. The Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, the chairman of the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, did his presentation and his speech, and essentially the market did not like it the moment he said, we're not going to be cutting in March, right? Or at least said it's very unlikely that we'll be cutting in March. As we know, the market has been pricing in up to 7 rate cuts in 2024. Jerome Powell really tried to dampen the spirits a little bit of rate cuts. Just as a reminder, we, of course, have looked at what has happened every time rate cuts have happened in the past. So the pause continues. As long as the pause continues, we don't have to at least be sitting here screaming. Right? Of course, things could happen before a Fed pause happens, but at least we know, like, every time we get that cut happening in there, you can just go through history. There's nothing to argue about here. The cut is where S hits the fan every time we do end up having them. So not to be fooled otherwise. So in other words, he says, hey, we're going to continue to stay there. And the market is now priced at a 64% probability. Actually, let me refresh that really quick. It was at a 64% probability that we will still be paused, 62% now, when we get there to March 20th. So our clock starts over, our countdown continues again, 62% probability that we'll still be paused as March approaches. Again, these numbers will change. Typically what we have seen is these things lately have been swinging to like 90%. So whenever we get really close, that's when, the Fed tends to follow whatever is happening there. Or if some type of thing shows up, which if you guys don't follow TXMC trades, he has just been ringing the alarm bell of the commercial real estate property market. Something shows up and the Fed ends up having to do some type of emergency rate cut to get it triggered rather than doing it whenever the market thinks. But either way, we heard him say that they're not planning on doing a rate cut in March. That is immediately once the market sold off. Today, we got a little bit of recovery over here. The stock market's a little bit recovered as well. The stock market, the Dow ended up closing down over 300 points yesterday. I believe the NASDAQ did as well. But this morning, as we kick it off and get going, the Dow is up 93 points. The NASDAQ is up 84. So a little bit of a recovery after yesterday's brutal ending after the Fed did their little announce a Ruski there that they don't plan on cutting in March. So here we go. We got a little bit of green over here in the crypto market, pretty split. You can see total 2 is literally sitting at 0.0%. So that means half up, half slight down, averaging right in the middle. Total 3 is up 0.07%. Bitcoin is down about 0.5%, which is $187 today so far. So taking a look over there at total 2, Wyckoff accumulations. Could this just be our prolonged sign of strength phase happening in here? I also pulled up total 3 and removed USDT and USDC, the stable coins in there. We do just see that structure happening right up in here, just kind of in a pause, waiting for the next move to get closer to those retracement levels for the altcoin market. So we were still in, I went through this yesterday. We've been in here for almost 2 months. So the Sentiment, of course, is taking a beating at this time. And then, of course, depending on what assets you have, some up big time, some down big time. I did a whole newsletter on it. We went through, you guys know, we have gone through developer data a lot in these newsletters and percentage drawdowns and circulating supply inflation and try to correlate those things to returns in the market. And the one that I published yesterday over here on Substack, blockchainbacker.substack.com, we went through circulating supply inflation. We didn't go through circulating supply inflation. What the heck is going on with me? We went through user activity levels with total value locked and NFT volumes to see if there was a correlation between price rises happening in there. There certainly were. So, you look at the top 20 by market cap, you don't see anything very big going on over there. But if you focus on the stuff that's happening with developers, those in the last 90 days, those have been up about 80 to 90%. And the stuff with the high level user activity is up about 100%, whereas the stuff from the top 20 by market caps up only about 30%. So totally a big difference there when you're focusing on those metrics. So it just kind of depends on where you're isolated in with your portfolio and whether or not you have seen returns happening in this market. But it's been very fascinating over this past year to learn to pay attention to a lot of more hidden data and find those resources that provide those to you. So I've been providing those to you guys over there in the newsletter. If you haven't checked it out, take a peek. But okay, let's go ahead and see if there's anything noteworthy in here. XRP, right? Waiting on this guy, right? So this guy is still sitting down here. The sentiment, man, if you go on to Twitter, holy cow, I dare somebody to post XRP is going to the moon on Twitter. You're going to be murdered. The sentiment is so bad on Twitter. It's absolutely incredible to see it. Of course, this is exactly, how we've seen things play out before. And I've told the story a lot of how bad sentiment was. And boy, this is from 2017. I've told the story for 5 years, 6 years of how bad sentiment was in this moment before the prices did take off. Sentiment, of course, is really bad right now, not just due to prices, but then it's like you get bombarded with some news that like makes people question their whole reality of life out there when it comes to it, right? Like yesterday, what are the chances that we see this? We say, okay, that this should be our push down, and then you get like Chris Larson getting hacked for $115 million. Then everybody was like, oh no, this is going to be bad for Ripple. How's anybody going to trust Ripple? Like then your whole perception of Ripple changes. It's totally fascinating to see how sentiment and brains work and everything when we get down to these types of levels and we get down to these areas. What's also really interesting about the total market cap of XRP, where does it sit? Right on the 200-week moving average, and just the utmost torture over there on Twitter. It's very, very interesting to see. Of course, the thing we'll be hoping for and cheering for is to get some type of quick reaction to come out of here, hopefully in the next day or two. Looks like we're about to crack back above 50 cents right now. Maybe we'll get lucky and we'll see something happen while we're doing markets in the morning, but we're in the level. We're on the supports currently right now, looking for some price reactions to show up as sentiment is utterly in the trash can. So there you go. Bitcoin 42,426. A lot more green showing up in the market as the stock market is open. Let's go ahead and take a peek over there at the stock market and let's get rid of all this junk. There we go. Fed rates, we already talked about that. Boom. Okay, there you go. Stock market, lots of green over there. You got Meta, Microsoft, and Coinbase leading the day this morning. Losers this morning are United Health, GE, Apple, and Ford. And it's kind of funny. Yesterday, this was obviously a sea of red over there yesterday, and the leaders yesterday were United Health and GE. Now they're on the bottom end of the list. Looks like yields are down this morning, albeit slightly, nothing too huge, except those longer duration yields down about 3 basis points. Nasdaq's up 97 points, the S&P's up 23, and the Dow is up 55. Gold had a slow start to the morning, but it has since popped up. Let's take a peek over there at that. Looks like there was a little bit of a jump here with gold this morning. We saw this during the all the Fed stuff happening in here. Here we go. Market opening. Gold is taking a little bit of a bounce here on the 1 hour time frame. U.S. dollar currency index still holding that 103.5 level. So it's just been ranging in here since mid-January. So going on about 2.5 weeks, 2 weeks that we've been sitting here in this range for the DXY. Nothing has changed drastically as of yet. But otherwise, as for the stock market, a little bit of a bounce back after yesterday's chaos once the Fed said they were not intending on cutting in March as of yet. And there you go. Bitcoin 42.4. Altcoins having it. Looks like we're slipping into the green now. Like just a few moments ago, we said total 2 was sitting at 0.00%. Now it's sitting at 0.38%. Total 3 now 0.34%. So I'm going to guess Ethereum is the one that has made a decent shift up here in the last few moments. Let's take a peek here real quick. There you go. Ethereum taking a little bit of a bounce there, contributing mostly to total 2. So, alrighty, there we go. I think that pretty much covers it. Bitcoin still just ranging after hitting its 618 retracement level. Total 2 still in a range. Hopefully this is just the bigger sign of strength phase. Again, to give you kind of a perception of how long these things can last when you have these accumulation schematics and how long you can get stuck in those things. Nothing unusual happening in here from a time perspective. Looking over here at total 3, if we also exclude, are you not going to let me do this? There we go. There we go. If we exclude the stable coins from there. So there you have it. That would put us really just right in this area, right in here, which gets you right in there. So hopefully we end up seeing something come in the month of February, because we actually have really just been stuck from December through January through here. Okay, there you go. XRP fighting for 50 cents, fighting while on top of the 200-week moving average. So again, just a little more confluence there to the significance of the level that we're currently at right now, that we do also have our 200-week moving average sitting right there. So there you go. Anything else to cover in regards to the charts? I don't think so. We've covered the indexes. One more peek at the stock market now that it is open. Made it one more refresher. Meta, Microsoft, Caterpillar, and Roblox leading the way. United Health, GE, and Apple at the bottom of the list, even though Apple and GE are both in the green. Dow up 67, NASDAQ up 84, S&P up 22. So about 0.5% for the NASDAQ and the S&P, about 0.17% for the Dow Jones, with gold taking a little bit of a pop today, along with silver slightly. Silver's about flat, but gold taking about 0.5% pop this morning. All right, there we go. Again, one more peek over here at the anticipation of what the Federal Reserve will do in the next meeting. 62% probability that it will be paused, 37% probability that they will cut, and at a 93% probability that they will cut in May. So we'll see about all of that, and we really focus more on it as we get closer and closer and closer to it happening. But just know that the last several, when the rate cuts have started, they started because problems are showing up in the markets, and they come in to try to kind of save the day. It's not that they're cutting for the sake of everything is super perfect and we're super bullish, let's cut. It's usually not what ends up happening. All right, moving on over. Here you go. Bloomberg, $560 billion property warning hits banks from New York to Tokyo. Citizen CEO calls NYCB an outlier, says regional bank pain is in the past. Deutsche Bank warns of potential U.S. property losses. U.S. property losses triggered 20% drop in Japanese bank Alzara. Wall Street gets reality check as Powell saps fast rate cut bets. Fed's Powell cements pivot but pushes back on timing of cuts. BOE raises prospect of rate cut in 2024 if inflation eases. You know, we've talked about this a little bit, that I think we played it out. Like we're waiting, like we get 2 more CPI prints. Like, and that's what he said. So like, just to reiterate what he said, he says like they do plan on cutting, right? And the data has been good. So all the data that they're getting from like an inflation standpoint, they've gotten, 6 great readings, and they just want to see that they're going to continue to get those great readings, right? Like if it just kept doing the exact same thing that it's doing, they'd feel great about it. And we've kind of like laid out that timeline, and I'll have to go back and revisit it, that our next 2 CPI readings are going to be the ones that actually do drop us. Let me pull it up. I'm going to pull it up on the screen. We're going to go look at it just to talk about it. So we're, like I always say, I'm always trying to be a few steps ahead. Consumer price index month over month. Sorry. Investing.com has a ridiculous amount of pop-ups. I try to avoid putting that on the screen just because I don't want all these ads all over the screen. Okay, here we go. Talk about this. We'll try to do it like on the screen with side by side. There we go. That'd be cool. We'll do that. Year over year. Okay. Sorry, guys. I didn't prepare for us to actually talk about this, so we're kind of just doing it on a whim. Okay, and 10 seconds, and we'll be talking. There we go. Okay, here we go. All right, this gives us a little bit of an idea of where we're at, right? So currently, year over year CPI sits at 3.4%. So why would we sit at 3.4? Why have we been rising lately, right? So this one right here, this little blip right in here, got replaced with our last reading, which was a 0.3, right? And so when you have that, if you're going to replace a 0.1 with a 0.3, then that's plus 0.2, right? So that's why you see the year over year rise plus 0.2 here, because this falls out of our readings and gets replaced with this for our year over year figures. So our next couple of readings, right, like we can see what we're going to be replacing, right? There is a 0.5 here that is going to get replaced on our next reading, and then the next one is a 0.4. If we register some moves like this or some readings like this of 0, 0.1, or 0.3, and we're going to be knocking out these 0.5s and these 0.4s from the year over year, we're going to see this shift down. And so our next reading is going to be here on February 13th. And the anticipation is that this 3.4, unless there is some big surprise in inflation in our next reading, which is probably unlikely there's going to be big inflation, we will see the 3.4 drop. Maybe get down to 3.2 or 3.1. And then the next one, when we drop it off, right? When we get our probably around March, right? It's like March 11th, 12th, or 13th. That's the next one. And then if we get another 0.1 or a 0 or a 0.2, then we can this will drop down into the higher twos, right? So we go into that Fed meeting on March 20th with 2 more positive readings, and we see this still continue to drop. And so that's what the Fed said they want to see. More figures come out, right? More positive numbers come out. But then after that, so like you think of the narrative and you think, all right, then they're going to start cutting, but cuts always end up being bad. Look at the readings after that, though, right? Then you only have a 0.1. Then you do have another 0.4. But then you have 0.1, 0.2, 0.2. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to keep dropping inflation after that. And it's going to have the appearance of inflation returning after those next 2 months. So like if we get 2 more good readings, then the Fed maybe has the data that they want, but then kind of being mindful, that's probably as deep as we're going to be able to get for some time. It's going to be very difficult to drop CPI after those 2 readings, the next 2 that we get, the one that we get here on February 13th, and then the one that we get on March, I don't know what day it's going to come, March 11th, 12th, or 13th. So I think they're going to get the readings that they're looking for. I think the market is going to celebrate those readings, but not paying attention to what comes after that, and that it's not going to keep dropping rapidly after that. So we're staying ahead of the curve on being surprised on what economic data comes out, and the narrative for the Fed not being surprised by any of it. Okay, there we go. A little bit more time now. The market has settled in a little bit. We can see more green happening over here in the market. Total 2 still up about 1/3%, and total 3 up about 1/3%. Bitcoin still sitting down there at 42.4. XRP still fighting at that 50-cent level. Again, for those XRP holders who are tuning into that, we are in that level, just as we have been before, and it does sit right on top of the 200-week moving average currently right now. So these are daily candles. Here we go. We can see all these things in here. Just go like this, play on all of them. There you go. That's the 200-week moving average. So hopefully we hold. All right. I think that covers it. No, we didn't finish the news. We're talking about rate cuts. Yeah, we totally diverted there. This monologue's getting too long. All right. Trump loses London case. Risky borrowers storm loan market for once unthinkable savings. Ex-City bankers target family offices from Americas to Miami. American Express, Delta unveil cards with new perks, higher fees. S&P 500 futures rise slightly after Fed sell-off. Fed Chief Jerome Powell says a March rate cut is unlikely. 10-year Treasury yield dips as investors digest Fed rate decision. Oil edges higher as market digests OPEC and Fed decisions. January hiring was the lowest for the month on record as layoffs surged. And there we are showing UPS. Now, Okta to lay off 7% of staff, which is about 400 employees. All right, crypto news. Anything going on here? Celsius is to distribute $3 billion of crypto to creditors as firm emerges from bankruptcy. ARK Invest says optimal Bitcoin portfolio allocation for 2023 was 19.4%. The optimum allocation is up from 0.5% in 2015 and 6.2% in 2022. Do we just use hindsight to come back and look at those things? And we say, here's what the market did. Here's what you should have done. What? FTX expects to fully repay customers, but won't restart their defunct crypto exchange. Yes, all the Solana, but people who bought Solana between $80 and $100 have helped FTX be able to repay their customers for the better good. For the better good. Over here, Visa and we'll go back to editor's choice. Celsius exits bankruptcy, commences return of over $3 billion to creditors. Bitcoin price shows 60K potential as MVRV metric copies Bitcoin bull cycles. Wall Street's new asset class. Will Grayscale survive the Bitcoin ETF era? Mystery of Polygon's missing Matic. Everyone's doing it, says Chain Argos. FCC chair proposes outlining AI robocalls. Well, yeah, of course they're going to be outlawed, but people are going to do it anyway. Visa enables crypto withdrawals on debit cards in 145 countries. CBOE exchange withdraws application list Global X Spot Bitcoin ETF. XRP flat price flashes 4 warning signs. Ripple chairman Chris Larson hacked for reported 213 million XRP worth approximately $112.5 million. Again, I just go back to this and say to myself, how is that possible to occur right there? The statistical probability of it occurring of all times that it could ever happen, it happens at that literal point, and sentiment just goes utterly trash can. It's truly, truly remarkable, and I look forward to looking back on this moment. Like I look forward to months ahead from now and looking back on this moment and being like, was that the mark of the extreme sentiment, right? Like where it was the utmost worst sentiment that there was. For me personally, I keep myself real tame. You could see that even like in exciting periods, I try to keep myself real tame. In negative periods, I keep myself real tame. And that's just from 7 years of being in this most volatile market of the entire world and gaining that control to be able to do that. But I can observe right now and totally observe it out there on Twitter. Like I guarantee you, if you posted XRP is the greatest asset in the world and it's going to the moon, the reply boys in your tweet are going to be brutal. You better prepare. It's not going to be a good day for you on Twitter. You are going to be put in your place, sir or ma'am. And that just kind of goes to show you the sentiment swings, right? We know that sentiment has swung because if you did that here, dude, you'd be the champ. You'd be the people's champ. You get it. You understand. Don't dare do that now. And that's fascinating just because of how negative it is, but it's also just fascinating to have that Chris Larson stuff happen right here as well, right on top of these levels that we've been waiting for. Like we talked about, right? Like the first bounce where the market is convinced that it is the true low, and then it goes on and we showed examples of it, then it goes on and sets the true low after that. And that you get down there and then you have just a complete narrative shift, right? Like, because you could run through people's minds and what they're thinking right now. Like, dude, this guy's like a chairman of Ripple, like chairman of the board. Like, he gets his XRP stolen. How are banks going to use XRP if the chairman is getting $100 million stolen from him? Like that reality narrative is just shattering and blowing up for a bunch of people right now. And it's all happening right here. So it's just unbelievably fascinating. And I look forward to looking back on this moment and saying that was the mark of peak negative sentiment at that exact moment in time. And you could just see the tweets. And like I said, I dare you. I dare you to go tweet right now. And we'll see. You will see how the society treats you for doing that. Unlike if prices are moving up, right? All right, there you go. That's your news. Not a whole lot going on in news except FTX plans to repay all of their creditors. Celsius is going to repay. And news looks like as TXMC is always saying, he's saying there's a big issue going on in commercial real estate that seems to be making a little bit of a headline here in this past week. The indexes got very close to the 4.236 extension to close out the month of January. The NASDAQ got within 1%, stalled out here. Let's see, do I have that other one open? There we go. There's the NDXT, the NASDAQ 100 technology sector in here. And there you have it. That's how we're starting our day. Market is bouncing back from yesterday's sell-off on Jerome Powell saying we don't plan to cut in March. Gold looks like it's doing okay today, up a little bit, up about $10 this morning. DXY flat, 103.44. Silver's up a little bit this morning too. Today, nothing to run and tell mom about. But crypto looks like it's having a positive morning. It's been a little while since we have a positive morning. Lately, it's been crypto. Like if it's having positive days, which last week I think we did end up having 4 out of 5 positive days in crypto last week. But in markets in the morning, every day we came on, it was red. It always took like intraday price behavior for it to actually end up showing up last week. So, but it looks like finally, for the first time, we actually have some green here as we kick off our day and get our day started. So there you have it. That's what's going on in markets. Stock market bouncing back after yesterday. Crypto looks like it's having a little bit of a bounce back today as well. XRP holders are sitting right there at your support levels as the most epic negative news comes at you a million miles per minute. So we'll see how things go throughout today. Tomorrow is Friday. Yesterday was a ridiculously busy day for me here. I was here with you guys a lot of the day. Then, of course, getting the newsletters published and other side projects that I had working on. But we're through it. Welcome to February. It's a new month, fresh start. All right, that's it. I'm hopping into the chat at this point, guys. Andy Philpott, before we got started, before the stream even started, had gifted 5 BCB memberships. My brother, thank you very, very much. Ali K says, ever since 2021, my BCB.D has grown exponentially. Okay, Ali, calm down. All right, Taylor McClellan, XRP community is super bearish. We must be close. Yeah, it's wild. It's fun too. Like I like that Twitter has added the feature to be able to listen to spaces anonymously. So I'll hop into them now and just listen anonymously and hear how people are doing. And it's fun to hear voices because when you put voices with it too, it's very obvious. Very obvious. And that's what Taylor says. XRP community is super bearish. We must be close. Oscar Hernandez, happy 5th birthday to Gators doggy. Yeah, I saw Gator post that. Happy birthday, Gators dog. Code 9 gifted 1 BCB membership. Brother, thank you. James Bishop, what up, BCB? FedEx driver here. I want to give a shout out to the people giving out memberships. I've been watching since 2019 and just got my first one 2 days ago. Boom. There you go, James. Thank you very much. We've got a FedEx driver. He's like, ha, UPS, who needs that? I'm good. Ben Heller, BCB, did you pull the trigger and buy more XRP? No, I was real clear about it the other day, last week, that expecting the new low, for me to pull the trigger, what I want is the reaction, and then I'll just buy higher on that pullback right there. If that comes, right? If that pullback comes. That would be my entry on a buy. Kirill Alamarov, thoughts on going way above 4.236 than Doomtown? I don't know. I don't know what am I supposed to say to that? I don't know how to respond to that. What are your thoughts on going way above the 4.236 than Doomtown? My thoughts are that's what people thought about Ethereum and Bitcoin in 2021. Reality, right? I don't know how to respond to that. If it goes above it, it goes above it, but it hasn't yet. So we're living in the heat of the moment of being right underneath it. Deepak Tulsani, hey BCB, what are your thoughts on PayPal? Seems like a Wyckoff. Yeah, we're gonna maybe I'll get back to it. Somebody had asked about PayPal last week. It seems like it's bottoming out, right? I checked markets in the morning last week. We did do PayPal, but those actions, those price charts don't change a whole lot. Stocks don't. Like every 3 months, maybe it moves, right? And I know PayPal has had a little bit of action because of their news announcement that they were doing. We'll pull it up. Right, that's what we talked about last week. Right, there's 7. So if PayPal has a future, it seems like it's at a decent place to be able to find some types of supports coming in here. But just to remember how slow these things move. They are slow. Stocks, man. Ugh. Me Jules Company, if everything goes as planned, are you selling 88 at the 4.236 or earlier? I always ladder out. It's never that I wait, and because you have to do it on the pinpoint day. And you have to do it on the pinpoint minute if you're going to nail the 4.236. It does not hang out there for 2 weeks, right? It happens in a blink of an eye, and then it's all over. So it's usually a ladder out thing for me. Crypto Pigeon, yo BCB, potential max negativity going on so naturally. Your favorite pigeon is longing 75x. Tell me I'm bad. Keep up the good work. You keep us all going. Pigeon. All right, here we go. Pigeon wants me to trigger the do not use leverage conversation. Using leverage is how you get wrecked. There's a reason why people provide you with affiliate links to go sign up for high leverage exchanges. It's because you're going to lose everything. They're going to get paid for it. They're going to make money off of it. 99% of people will get completely liquidated. You always get allured by the people who post, look what I've gained. I've made $600,000 on this one trade, and I only used $1,000 to do it. And we get pulled into that. We say, ooh, that could be me. But it's not. Just straight up. It's not going to be you. It's going to be you going to zero on leverage trading. JR Flight 10 says, Link making higher low and higher high breakout. Yeah, Link is the doozy. Link is still just in that range until it proves something different, but it's still just range bound. I get it. It's moving up really quick right now, but it is not in breakout. Still being cautious on it. I mean, I cheer for Link. I own Link. But it has definitely been stuck here since November, right? This whole range, we're going on now 3 whole months of being stuck in this range and nothing emerging from it as of yet. So I sure hope so. Oscar Hernandez says the number one way to support the content by blockchain backer, I don't know what all those emojis are, is to hit the like button. That is correct. The number one way to support the channel is hitting the like button. Thank you. Thank you, Oscar. And Joseph says, facts, it happened to me. Yeah, there's a lot of people. Here's the deal, right? And I talk about this all the time. Nobody is posting, you got liquidated. And then this guy on Twitter, The Standard, who I met at XRP Proper Party, he did. He posted his emails. He was like, yeah, it does happen. After I said that last time. And that's the reality. People, who's going to go onto Twitter and like chase clout with liquidation emails or liquidations and margin calls? No one. You got to get those screenshots that look glorious, right? And then you post it on Twitter and make yourself look like an absolute boss. And that's just how it goes, right? Let's go back here. Here you go. XRP. You just got 50. There you go. Welcome back to 50. The big 5-0. Okay. I don't know. Mike G says, do you think XLM will have the same multiplier as XRP if they both pump? I don't know. Stellar Lumens has become just a weird coin to me over the years, and it just gets weirder and weirder and weirder as time goes on. Ever since every little news event happens, and Stellar Lumens is the only coin to pump with XRP, and it's one thing, like it's okay, it's the same buyers, it's the same people who are coming in. But we've seen isolated events that are very specific to XRP. Like when the lawsuits against Brad and Chris got dropped and price pumped for XRP, and nowhere else in the market did it pump. But it also pumped for Stellar Lumens at the same time. That was bizarre. There's too much weird stuff that happens there with Stellar Lumens. And like Stellar Lumens, when it comes to like user activity levels, developer activity levels, are just doesn't really show up anywhere, right? I don't know if Stellar Lumens is another one of the conspiracy theory coins or whatnot, but we just don't see a lot of discussion about it. And I do know everybody, like your question is specifically, right? Do you think XLM will have the same multiplier as XRP if they both pump? It's right, because Stellar Lumens holders are XRP holders, right? It's like they go hand in hand, and that's a weird thing to have. And there's a lot of assets in crypto are like that are circulated within the XRP community. If you search people's profiles and like what they have and their description of their profile, all these same assets, all the XRP holders and the exact same ones, rather than venturing out of like what is just being in this circle and looking around to see like what is actually happening in this market. Where's the use happening in the cryptocurrency market, and venturing away from that. It's really just everybody kind of going after the same stuff. So I don't see if you have the belief that Stellar Lumens is going to pump with XRP, and if it is going to move with XRP, why even own Stellar Lumens? You know what I mean? Why have double allocation to something that you think is the same thing, right? It's kind of my thought. Like, I mean, I got some Stellar Lumens, but like my Stellar Lumens bag size compared to my XRP bag size, I can tell you. I can tell you. It is 1/20th. 1/20th the size. And even today, I was kind of like, do I really even need that 1/20th? I went through that contemplation this morning. Brandon says, my brother-in-law and I were laughing about how we hate XRP at the moment. And these are usually the times where ish goes wild. Yeah, that's is how it goes, man. It's an emotional roller coaster. There you go. We're shifting up a little bit. We're getting a little bit of a move happening in there, right? So there you go. There's bullish divergences happening down here at the lows. Now we shift up. We're getting bullish divergences showing up over here, right? It just barely holds, right, on the new low. All right. There you go. A little bit of a move. How's the 4-hour looking? There you go. So, you got bullish divergences between these two. We'll see if this thing gains some juice to get going. But there you go. There's your bullish divergence there too. So watch how fast it changes. That's all it takes, right? On Twitter. Wait a minute. We're actually going to the moon. It's a sight to behold. But yeah, this is one of the worst. Just so you do know, like sentiment-wise, this is one of the worst. Crypto, BCB the Wizard, if XRP news is the call's bottom. Yeah, we'll end up seeing. Matthew Grushka says, no sound and resilient banking system yesterday. Yeah, I saw that posted by Zero Hedge as well. They addressed that. It wasn't included in there. But was it included in the last one? Let's go look. Federal Reserve. We'll go look at their last press release. Which was in... Did we have one in December? There it is, yeah. Yes, they do have it in there. So they have... The U.S. banking system is sound and resilient. Tighter financial and credit conditions for households and businesses are likely to weigh on economic activity. So this is in December. Then you move over here to now. It's gone. Uh-oh. I think people are just, they had the calm nerves of sound and resilient banking system ever since March. Was that last year? Man, that was last year. Everybody's worried about the banking system collapsing, right? And also, there are worries that the banking system is not sound. We'll see. Ahmed, thank you very much for the super chat. All right, there we go. We're at 42 minutes. That's been kind of the goal here this week, and we have succeeded every single one of these so far. This will be number 4 where we actually end up hitting it, that we're staying under an hour, and the target has been 45 minutes for markets in the morning. I want to thank you all so much for tuning in. It looks like, we'll take one more peek over here at the Dow Jones Industrial Average and the stock market. The Nasdaq's up 120, the S&P's up 30, and the Dow's up 100 over here. Leaders this morning. Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, and Coinbase. Losers are just United Health, which was really one of the only ones to be green yesterday during all the chaos that went on out there. Gold at 2047, DXY 103.47, Bitcoin 42,757. A little bit of pop up here in the middle of markets in the morning. About time. It's been a while. Look, the whole screen on the right side is green now. It's been a little while since we've had something like that happen. Total 2 is now up almost 1%. It was at 0 when we started markets in the morning. So otherwise, a nice start to the day. How about that? I'll take it. XRP fighting it back above 50 cents, right? Did you still maintain it? It's still above 50. Again, the big thing that I'm cheering for is a positive reaction out of this level, as it's on the 200-week moving average over there on the market cap, and the prices have gotten right where it is. And then what do you know? You get slammed with negative news to rock your world and shape your reality right at the lows. Magical Unicorn Fairy Dust, Puppet Masters pulling puppet strings, God, or a simulation. Always good news at the top, always terrible news at the bottom. Let's see how it reacts, and hopefully we get it today. Otherwise, guys, I'll check in with you guys later. Of course, you guys can check out bcbacker.com if you want more videos from me to teach you how to set up your own charts and your own indicators in TradingView and CoinTrader Pro. It's $39 one time, no subscription. You have access to all the material in here. over 11 hours of videos, and also teaching you about historical behavior of the crypto market to kind of help shape your view of how this market has behaved in the past, and then focusing on other things that have been important too, like development activity and why percentages matter way more than the price. You have everybody screaming, Bitcoin to 100K. What's the percentage of that? A 2x, congrats. Importance of tokenomics and market caps. We noticed in 2021 how the market caps were very much the deciding factor on a lot of those measurements. So understanding that and understanding inflation, tokenomics, crowd behavior. Man, the crowd right now. If you are on there trash posting on Twitter right now, think to yourself for 1 second, you are doing exactly what a bunch of other people are doing. Your emotions are exactly in line with a lot of other people. Think about that for a minute. Emotional management. There's also downloadable PDFs in here that you can print out for yourself. So you can have printouts of a lot of this different stuff where we're teaching about Wyckoff accumulation and distribution and Elliott wave theory, different charts, structures, patterns, indicators, all that good stuff right at your fingertips over here on bcbacker.com. And then, of course, the big one that was put out yesterday. Again, I find this data absolutely fascinating, and I take it and I look at my own portfolio and I'm constantly dissecting my own portfolio based on this data of what are the users doing, what are developers doing, and then not only that, looking in here, I'm running the numbers for you. I'm showing you, here's how the developer groups have been performing for the last 90 days. Here's how the top 20 by market cap have been performing. Here's how the ones with total value locked are performing. Here's how the ones with the highest NFT volume are performing. And it's just blatantly obvious. These are the areas that users are going to, and they happen to also be the ones that are seeing the better price appreciation. So it's just fascinating data. This one was totally focused on user activity levels. You can check that out over there on bcbacker.com. Of course, you'll have access to all of the other ones that have been put out in the past. So you can go read through all of them. And lucky you, if this wants to work here. Why are we not working? Beyond the developers. Oh, yeah. Listen to that voice. All for you. All right. Okay, that's going to be it for this one, you guys. I want to thank you all so much for watching. I want to thank you for tuning in. Let me get these last super chats. Andy Philpott had gifted a BCB membership. Brother, thank you very much. George Alexanderopoulos. And before you leave, smash that like button. Yeah, on your way out, if you could hit the like button before you bail, I'd appreciate it. Andy Philpott says, happy birthday, PTW. All right, guys, that's going to be it for this one. Thank you all so much for watching. If you could, please like this live stream and give it a thumbs up. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be notified of when I create new content and when I go live. As always, this is not investment advice, and I am not a financial advisor. But if you ever need a pick-me-up or a little bit of reassurance, just remember that the blockchain backers got your back. Have a good one.